A real gun, like this, explodes powder inside that bullet, is fired through the barrel, and pierces air, which is what blows out your eardrum. There is no similarity in sound, appearance, manufacturing material between these two guns. And let's not forget that safety is the exact same thing shown to every airsoft player. Anyone who buys it, any gun dealership, anyone who buys a real firearm, and it's completely covered in all the California and nationwide penal codes on how to carry these weapons. Look at the grenade. There's 6 holes in the top of it. Nothing like a normal one. There's also a rubber band around it to make sure the BBs are held in. If you press it, gas can escape from it. But let's still be safe about this. You need to wear goggles, protection in case these come near your eye, just like you do in any sport, any combative sport, like self-defense. If you spar, you wear a helmet, you wear padding, you wear extra if you don't feel your body can handle it. It's basic. It's supported by a basic business license. It is a regular sporting activity in California, in the United States, in the world. We just have more restrictions on it, like we do with firearms and airsoft. We have reasons for this. Now the reason is a lot of people assume that guns, knives, even fists are the reason other people are killed. Let's remember, the last health census showed that 3 times as many people killed every year by firearms are killed by obesity. There are only 0.4 people killed a year out of the entire American population not in a combative zone of war are killed by firearms. Yet 3 times as many are killed by fatty diets, which is a free choice. So is picking up any gun and killing someone with it. A knife, a pen. It's free choice. It's human nature. It's our rights. Do we take away our rights? No. We come up with restrictions on it to keep order. Take any basic high school class and they teach you that fact. My example of this exact event, or such events, is what happened on my last birthday. My favorite hobby, my favorite activity is airsoft. I love it. What I did was I got all my friends together that like it, as many as I could, so we could have a big game, and we went to our favorite spot, which is right behind a church, on days that they don't serve Mass, or hold Mass. The reason for this is obviously to keep kids around the area safe. It's secluded by a lot of forest area, which is perfect for what we like to do. There's even a walking trail nearby, and a lot of people know that area that we play in is owned by the church, and if they don't, there are signs for it. And trespassing on the signs, like many motorists do who decide to engage in dirt biking activities, always disobey. But it can't be helped unless it's properly enforced. Just like our sport. Unfortunately, it's not. As for ours, I'll tell you exactly what happened. About 8 to 10 of us drove our vehicles in the church as we had permission from the priests, from the owners of the area. Even the police department gave us permission. We had asked them before even going to the church to ask them. Who was more than willing to let us because they feel it's a healthy sport. And it is. There's no obesity involved. You might lose it though. That's the point of it. But we did our usual activities, and our last game was a little close to the church itself, which is perfectly fine. However, a woman who technically violated the no trespassing sign by walking her dogs on the small trail that goes through the woods came across us. Now, I can completely understand when a civilian or even a military person sees a group of teenagers to adults holding guns and wearing camouflage and flak jackets and whatnot, pretty much, armor, as a big problem. She had 2 dogs, about husky size, but not really that fierce, and she was about 20 feet away from us when she pulled out her phone and dialed 911. Not exactly the smartest idea, since guns usually get about, well over 100 feet in range. She was only 20, but it's okay. She didn't know about guns. So what we did, as we always do, is we said, there's a civilian on the field. We all put our guns in the safe area. One of our members handed his gun to another and approached her slowly. Her dogs, pulled at the leash but didn't do much. And she said, stay back, and he stayed back. He explained to her exactly what Airsoft was, as I'm doing now. Not in as much depth, but explained it to her. Showed her what a BB is. She apologized immediately and said, I'm sorry for calling the police. Instead of jumping in our vehicles and running away, we waited. We set our guns down near our vehicle in plain view and stepped away from them. 3 sheriff's department vehicles pulled up. They didn't even get out of their cars right away. One of them did. He saw us, waved. One of our members approached slowly. We stood back, dressed him, and before you knew it, all 6 officers were out. We were in a big group, 2 feet apart. We were all having a great time talking about weapons, and if they'd like to join us, as a matter of fact, if they were interested in trying out and playing with us. Unfortunately, the guns they brought happened to kill people, and we felt it might not be exactly fair for us. So we went with our BBs and our safe procedures. And they drove right back, especially after the woman herself who called the police came up and said, I'm so sorry for it. I realize what they are now. I think it's great. So do we. So did the sheriffs. So when people say, how can police officers know how to handle this? Or police officers feel, as I'm quoting, that they don't know how to handle this. Where was her quote? Where was her citation from this broadcast on Fox? There was none. I mean, I completely understand if there's a law enforcement member that doesn't know how to handle the situation. It's difficult. The person has a gun. But there's designated areas to play with it. I've actually been stopped 3 times in total by police. Another friend was stopped by SWAT. You just put down your guns, hold up your hand, and in 2 seconds they suddenly go, oh, airsofters. And they either talk to you or they say, have a good day, be safe. Police already know how to handle it. I mean, I've talked to some, they aren't comfortable with airsoft guns, I understand. But it's a great training material. They use it themselves. They like it. The whole reason is because it's more realistic. That's why we like it. We get to feel what it's like to be a soldier, to be in a hostile environment. We can appreciate the people who protect us. The heroes, as they're called by our society, which I can completely understand. That's how it should be viewed. A soldier goes off to war. We should know what he's going through. We shouldn't just look at the media and say baby killer, or look at that little child not knowing what he's doing. There's a lot more to it, and if you give it a chance to learn, like you should, anything you're reporting, you have a better outlook on it. You have an unbiased opinion, and it's more factual. Now, if you excuse me, I have an airsoft game to get to, and I don't want to be held up. If you'd like to join me, bring your goggles, bring your guns, high-powered preferably. We'd like to have a pretty good game going. Aside from that, my name is Matthew Shufsamus. I'm a true patriot of this country, and I support Airsoft.